Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back here to Talk Tottenham here with your host Tom. Guys, giving you a pre-match preview for not just going to say tomorrow's, for Sunday's massive away match in the Premier League against Aston Villa. So fourth play fifth, guys, in that lunchtime kickoff. I think it's a 1 p.m. kickoff at Villa Park. It's a really big game, guys, for Spurs on Sunday, because you know Villa have already opened up a little bit of a 5 point gap on us, and you know how many games are left? There can't be many, 12, 13 games. So yeah, guys, in this video, I kind of want to give you my match lineup, prediction, talk a little bit about the game, and I did also just watch Ange's press conference as well, where as usual he was a little bit prickly, didn't always welcome the questions. Um, I do like Ange. I do like Ange. I like his aggression, in these press conferences. And I love the ambition as well. I think one of the journalists questioned whether or not he'd be okay with finishing fifth, as that might be enough to qualify for the Champions League. And Ange just wasn't having any of it. He was basically saying he doesn't aim for anything other than top position. And you know, I think that's the right way to go about it. I think for many years now, Spurs as a club, we've been, always talking about getting fourth, getting in the Champions League, qualifying in fourth position. But it's probably having that mentality which has never it's probably stopped us, really, in all honesty, from kicking on. Um, so I mean, to be honest though, looking at the table from my point of view, guys, I think for a while this season, I was harbouring hopes, to be honest, of mounting a title challenge. It wasn't, to be honest, up until the Everton game, if I'm being honest, guys, when we drew 2-2, where I still thought we were in the race. And actually, that Everton game was probably only about a month ago. And I think, honestly, if we had actually held on in that game and got the 2-1 win, and not conceded. Was it Braithwaite? I think it was Braithwaite for Everton scoring in injury time. I think that killed us, guys, to be honest, that result. And then did we follow it up? I think we followed that one up with the Wolves defeat. So actually, yeah, I mean, there might have been a result in there somewhere along the lines, but yeah, I think now it's we've given ourselves way too much to do, and the reality is that City, Arsenal, and Liverpool are just, they're too far ahead now, I think. So this game against Villa, it really is, for me, it's the battle for fourth. We've got a good result in terms, for us anyway, guys. It was a good result for us that United lost against Fulham in their last game 2-1. So we've got a nice little 6 point gap ahead of United in sixth, and we also got that game in hand. But we must not lose, guys, against Villa on Sunday. If we lose, that would put us 8 points behind. Villa would still have the game in hand. It wouldn't, I don't think it would rule us out completely, but I have to be honest, guys, I think Villa have really impressed me this season. I did say this one at the end of the last video. They've impressed me a lot, and it's going to take a really good performance to go up there, guys, and get anything from this game. Honestly, let's make no bones about it. Villa have been decent this season, and in Ollie Watkins, honestly, guys, I think he's lethal, absolutely lethal. Some of the goals he scores, there's a certain caneness about him in terms of his composure in front of goal. So I looked at the goals he scored at Luton, and some of those finishes just bloody lethal, absolutely lethal, guys. So we're going to have to be on our A game to really shut him out in this game. But if it's not Watkins, there's other threats as well. With I like Pau Torres, who's just come back into the lineup. Obviously, Martinez is a great goalkeeper. Um, you know, um, Douglas Costa, all of these players. They've got a really really good team now. Leon Bailey, John McGinn. So we're going to have to go up there, guys, and really play a lot better, I would say, than what we've been playing recently. Because if we start slowly and go a goal behind, I think it's going to be a really, really. I don't want to see the game get away from us, guys. To be honest, in this game, I really don't. We need to try and stay in this game for as long as possible. But look, on the positive side, even though we're not playing that well at the moment, I still think we've got threats going back the other way to hurt Villa. Maddison, Johnson's playing quite well at the moment. Sonny loves a goal against Villa, doesn't he? I don't know how many goals he scored against them over the years, but we could really do with a really, really good Sonny performance in this game. I mean, looking at the injury news, I did just watch Andrew's presser, like I say. I think he said at the start that Porro has been training all week, which is really, really good news. It would be really, really good to get Pedro Porro back in at right back, because for me, guys, Emerson is just not, I I thought people realised this some time ago, but for me, he's just not up to the required standard. Yet, he comes in and people say, okay, he's good defensively, but yeah, he's not good enough, guys. He's just not good enough, and I think we've got to start calling these things out a little bit more because, as I said, guys, it's been a brilliant start to the season for Spurs, but yeah, I don't want to be overly critical, but the performances for me, guys, they haven't been there for a long time, and I've said it before, we haven't been convincing for a long time, and I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried about Sunday. I'm a little bit worried about going up there, and I sort of implore to the team to prove me wrong, to be honest with you, because I'm a little bit worried that we could cave in this game, and if Villa score early and the crowd get behind us, I can potentially see us going under in this game. Now I know that might seem a little bit pessimistic, but that's the challenge that I would like to set these players is go out there and prove me wrong. Then prove me wrong. Show me a performance that I haven't seen. To be honest, I can't even remember the. I mean, Spurs. We've been playing well. We've been playing well in fits and spurts. I thought we played quite well in the. Well, we didn't really play well in the Palace game until the last few minutes, but. It's just it's been so long since a convincing performance, and Villa are going to make it really difficult. But we've got to back ourselves. We've still got the players that we had at the start of the season, and if they turn up, then we can cause them a problem. We need to see a little bit more out of these players. If I'm looking at the lineup, guys, I think Ange he has got. More players to choose from, more players to pick from now, which I think is good. Obviously, Big Vic in goal. He is one player, to be honest, who's been so consistent this season, Vicario. Other than that little dip in form with the crosses from the corners, he's been so consistent. It's just been a real shining light, I think, in our season. Moving into the defence, if I heard it correctly, and Porro is back, then for me he comes straight in for Emerson Royale, and I really hope that Porro can offer us a really good option on that right hand side, because I'm sure that we will have a lot of the ball against Villa. It's just what we do with it, guys. That's the concern. Are we gonna damage them? Are we gonna take them back the other way, or is it gonna be all of this, tiki taka football sideways, not particularly going anywhere? I want to see us being a bit more aggressive in our forward play, and Porro is someone I think who offers us really really good out ball and a good outlet on that right hand side, and his crossing is really good. I think we've missed that in the last few games, guys. We've missed that really really good delivery into the box from free kicks and corners. Um, by the way, why do we? I listened to this on another podcast. Why do we never score from corners? We have lots of corners in games, but we never seem to do anything with the corners. And when Conte was there, I know we had the Italian chap, one of his assistants, who would work on attacking set pieces, and we actually had a really good spell under him where we'd score a lot from corners. I remember often it was Perisic's corners, flick on, Kane would usually be there. I can't remember the last time we scored from a corner, guys. It's not good. It's not good, and we concede from them a lot as well. So set pieces is a worry. And actually, against Villa in the first game, we conceded, didn't we, from a free kick and a header. I think it was Watkins. He scored a double, didn't he, on that day as well against us. Anyway, moving back to the defence. Obviously, Romero, Van de Ven, no need to break up that partnership. I do feel a little bit sorry for Radu Dragusin, who must be wondering when he's going to get his chance in the team. It's been a difficult start to the season, start to his Spurs career for Dragusin, but there doesn't seem to be any signs that he's going to be getting a start anytime soon, other than if Romero or Van de Ven got injured. But those two, for me, they are first names on the team sheet, to be honest, and both of them, especially Van de Ven, can say that they have had good seasons so far. They really have. And then coming in at left back, Destiny Udogie. For me, he's sort of dipped in recent weeks, but definitely seen enough from this season, guys, to say that he is a quality left back. So aggressive with Porro on the other side. I love seeing those marauding runs forward, but to be fair, we haven't seen that so much from Udogie in recent weeks. I know he's been injured a couple of times. Maybe he's still carrying a knock, but really really hope that Udogie and Porro can give us something different on those flanks. Let's have a look at the midfield then, guys. So, Ange, as I say, he does have options. You've got the likes of Højbjerg, Skip, Basuma, Sarr, Bentancur. Incidentally, Sarr looked like he was really struggling at the end of the Palace game. I saw him in the centre circle, and it looked like he sort of was suffering from some back pain in that game. So I don't know if he's going to be ready. Ange sort of didn't say that he was injured, so if he is fit and he can play, for me, I would probably put Pat Matasar in, and then it's just who you partner with him. So, I mean, it was Bentancur and Basuma, wasn't it, in the last game, and Basuma actually had a better game in that game. So does he persist with Bentancur and Basuma, or would he play Sarr? Do you know what? I'm gonna actually change my mind. Actually, I'm probably gonna go with Bentancur and Basuma, and go with what Ange went with then in the Palace game, and let's assume that Sarr doesn't quite make it and he has to settle for a place on the bench. By the way, I've got no qualms about throwing Sarr in if he's fit. I'd probably put him in ahead of Basuma and play out like a Sarr Bentancur. But let's just for argument's sake, let's go with Bentancur and Basuma, with Maddison slightly in that more advanced position in that number 8, and then either side of Maddison, Ange does have a bit of a conundrum, because do you persist with Kulusevski, who it's fair to say is out of form at the moment. I know he scored a really, really good goal against Wolves, and that was a quality goal, but haven't seen Kulu really turn it on for a while. Werner on the other side, I can see. I thought he had a good game against Palace, especially in the second half. So I think Werner keeps his place on that left-hand side. And it's just whether or not Ange, does he play Kulu or does he play Brennan Johnson and bring him in? But Johnson's so good coming off the bench. I know that might be, obviously Johnson wants to start. I don't think anyone really wants the label of a super sub sort of thing. But to be honest, those have been always been Johnson's best games. To be honest, other than those few starts at the start of the season, I think Johnson's really changed games for us, and I can see him coming off the bench as well against Villa in the second half, and causing them problems. So I think I probably will persist then with Kulusevski, and then up front, obviously the hitman Heung-min Son. So let's just go through that team once more. So I would be playing Vicario in goal with a back four of Pedro Porro, Romero, Van de Ven and Udogie. In the double pivot, I'd play Bentancur and Basuma, with Maddison just in the advanced role, Kulusevski and Werner playing either side of him, and then up top, Son. In terms of players who could maybe come on and make a difference in the second half, obviously you look at Johnson, maybe Lo Celso, who else potentially? Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. Who else? Probably maybe Sarr as well. Probably could get a run out. But then I'm sure the likes of Højbjerg, Skip, Davis, and maybe even Brian Hill, if he's still around, would make up that bench as well, guys. I think, as I said before, I think it's going to be a really, really tough game, guys. Villa they don't lose really at home at Villa Park. Obviously, they did lose against Chelsea. They took a bit of a battering from Chelsea in the FA Cup not long ago. So that does give me hope that there is a little bit of a chink in their armour. They also obviously played against Ajax on Thursday, drew 0-0. That would have taken it out of them. So let's hope, guys, that we maybe got that little bit more sharpness than them going into this game. Having said that, Emery always seems to get a tune out of them. Always does. And I just think this is going to be such a tough game, guys. And to be honest, I'm going to probably sit on the fence with this one. I'm going to settle for a draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this game, which I've said it before, guys. For me, I don't think that would be the worst result in the world. It would keep that 5-point gap with Villa and would still have the game in hand, which could potentially reduce that gap to 2 points. And then, Villa do have a tricky run-in at the end of the season as well. So let's just hope that we'd be able to make up those points on them. So that for me is the match preview, guys, for this game. I appreciate that my tone in this video, guys, might be a little bit pessimistic, slightly negative. It's only born out of the fact, guys, that I really want Spurs to put in a performance that that resembles what we saw at the start of the season. I just feel that we haven't been able to get back to those heights for a good while, and I don't know if it will be this game. But I really feel like even if we're going to get a point in this game, we're going to have to really battle and dig in and show a bit of quality, which I think we can do. I really think that we can do. And having that back four back together again, I think would give Spurs a really solid base to work from. Obviously, if we can do it, guys, if we can get the points, I think that puts us in a really, really strong position to kick on. But as I say, I really don't think a draw would be the worst result in the world. It would keep us in the mix, guys, which would be good. So, guys, I'll bring it to a close there. Thanks for sticking with me, in this preview. I'm pumped up for this game, guys. It's for me, it's the biggest game of the season so far, fourth versus fifth. And you know, for me, it really would be great for us to get back in the Champions League. You know, no one really expected us to be in this position at the start of the season. I certainly didn't. But you know, good on the players. Well done, Ange. You know, for putting us in this position. Let's just see if we can kick on from here and have a really, really good end to the season. Guys, stay safe, stay well. Let me know what your prediction is in the comments, and if you'd make any changes to my lineup or formation. And as always, come on, you Spurs.